There's also some other things in play here too. There's more opportunity for getting a job as a computer scientist than almost any other profession. And it pays more. How much more? Well, it turns out that the highest demand jobs in the United States, according to the U.S. Department of Labor, this is data from 2001, the computer scientist earns more than 98% of all other jobs. Full stop. Secondly, it's also one of the highest demand jobs. Only 0.5% of all jobs have more job openings than computer science training. Okay? The only jobs that have more openings are teachers, particularly in secondary schools and primary schools, accountants, and management analysts. Okay? So if your primary goal is get a job, then pick one of these three or computer science, and you'll be sure to get a job. The trouble is that these three occupations may or may not be as interesting. You definitely don't earn as much money. So, if computer scientists earn more money, why don't more people study it? The fact is, 200,000 students a year take the Advanced Placement Calculus test. In the United States. That's it. 200,000 students. But only 14,000 students take a computer science test. Why is that? Well, primarily because computer science isn't offered as a subject in many schools. Luckily, Redondo is starting a computer science class. My understanding is it might already be packed, but if there's any way to get in and you're not in, you might want to talk about it. And you should put pressure on your school to train you in the skills that are going to help you be successful. When you go to college and you have to declare a major, if you're going to a school that is a technical school, an engineering school, you have to declare a major. Even if you don't know for sure what you're going to do when you grow up. How many of you know for sure what you're going to do when you're done with college? Raise your hand. For sure. You know. One guy. Okay. All of you don't know? Let me tell you. If you major in computer science, I'll go on. Okay? So, what does computer science even mean? What are those jobs? So there's what I do. There's software architect, software engineer. That's somebody who either fix stuff that's broken or figure out how to solve problems. A software developer, that's somebody who makes software that doesn't exist yet. Quality assurance engineer, that's somebody who verifies to make sure that the software actually does what it's supposed to do. System engineers, they figure out how to make things work, how to fit different bits of systems together. I did this job for a long time. This is a really fun job. It's really, really challenging because you have to think about how all kinds of different things fit together. So if you like doing puzzles, or anyway, it's really interesting. Support technician, this is a huge, huge area of opportunity. If you like talking to people, if you like solving issues, support technician. System administrators, these guys are in charge of running systems. And database administrators are in charge of running specifically the data systems, where the information goes. So what kind of person do you need to be in order to be a computer scientist? In order to be a successful computer scientist? So I would say the number one thing you need is to learn how to solve problems. So naturally, some people are good at this, but it is not a born skill. This is a learned skill. Problem solving is not a natural ability, it's something that you learn. Okay? Second is you need to be able to work hard. I worked about 10, 15 years of my life in the startup stage. When you're starting a company, it is a huge commitment. It has a lot of risk, but it also has a lot of reward. But you also need to be willing to give up Christmas. You have to be willing to give up New Year's. You need to be able to be on call, and you're called in the middle of the night and wake up and deal with stuff. So if you're willing to put in hard work, then you'd probably be an entrepreneur and a computer scientist at the same time. You have to really be able to pay attention to details. And you need to be able to see things in a big picture. So not only just focusing on what is this one little thing, but how does this one little thing that I'm working on fit into everything else that we're doing. And what do you need to study? Math is kind of an obvious one. If you're good at math, you're going to be good at computer science. Anyone who can pass that computer science test, right, this one I talked about, anyone who can pass this test, these 200,000, all of these students have brains that can do this work. Now, I was talking to Petra earlier. I was saying the difference between a scientist that does chemistry and a scientist that does physics. What's the difference? Same kind of brain, same kind of scientific method. It's just a different kind of science. Here is just a different application for math. So, any questions? Say it loud so we can hear it.
When you're a senior, I'm trying to decide what's the difference between computer science and computer engineering?
Okay, computer science is about software only. Computer engineering is about how you integrate software and hardware together. Okay, so if you major in computer engineering like I did, it's like you're doing a double major. You're electrical engineering, which is about hardware, logic, and circuits. And then there's the computer science, which is about understanding how to produce software. And then how do you fit those things together. There's actually more opportunity in computer science, the pure computer science discipline, than there is in computer engineering. Computer engineering applies to people who are making the chips and the hardware. So I showed you all the board, the motherboard picture, right? If you want to build the motherboard, you need computer engineering. If you just want to build the software part, you need computer science.
So like I'm a senior, and like I'd like I'm a senior, so like I'm taking like computer science or any computer classes I'm pretty bad at. So it's like I'm really bad at computers. Like 20 words a minute like typing speed, and I can write faster than I can type. So is it like too late like for me to pursue a computer science?
Do you want to aspire to greatness in your life?
Yeah.
Figure out the typing bit. Typing is a skill. Typing is not a born quality, right? It's something that you learn and you practice, and the more that you do it, the better you get. I'm not a perfect typist. I've had tremendous success, so I would just say stick with it. If it's something that you think that you might be interested in, then just stick with it.
So the company that provides the cloud, right? What's the difference between that and like Dropbox or what Apple uses? Is it just like industrial or something?
So Dropbox is what we call software as a service. So it's they're solving a particular problem and they're making it available to consumers as a service. And the service is a place to put your files. Okay, that's what Dropbox is. So it is a cloud service. But that solution is built on top of what we call programmable infrastructure. And that is like all of the servers, the storage, the networking that are necessary in order to provide that service. That's called an infrastructure cloud. And that's where OpenStack is supposed to be in relation. So it's not about the individual solutions, it's about the lower level. Think of it like this, like every house has underground plumbing, right? And the reason it has underground plumbing is so that you can put sinks and toilets and bathtubs and showers into your house, right? Think of infrastructure as a service as the underground plumbing. And the box solution, right, that's the sink. I want to go back to something. You might want to have their own company. Be your own boss, be in charge. You're off kind of half. All right. It's about half. And who would like to just have a very secure place where you go and you get a paycheck every day, or every 2 weeks you're going to get a paycheck, but you know that there's somewhere that you can go and it's going to be secure and you're going to be okay. About the other half. Okay. So, for those of you that are risk takers who, potentially want something, you want to be a leader, you want to be. Entrepreneurship is one of the ways that you can get rich. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay? About 9 out of 10 people who are engineers fail. And they fail repeatedly. They fail over and over and over and over again. But about 1 out of 10 of them get lucky and they make it big. Okay, this company, I didn't list one of the other ones. I sold a company for $30 million. This company currently earns $40 million a year. This company doesn't make any money. This company was sold for $2 million. This one actually earns millions of dollars a year. So it's like, not everything works. And you're gonna, as an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to figure out a way to make things work. But most of the time, people who go into entrepreneurship get discouraged and they have failure. So if you want to have your own business one day, my advice to you, be willing to accept failure repeatedly. But stick with it, you can succeed eventually. So,
Do you feel like you need like a business background, because it must have been tough to have all that stuff and then business.
so that's what co-founders are for. Okay? So the most fun places I've ever worked were ones where I've co-founded with other, like the Harvard Business School guy. Okay, so the Harvard Business School guy, he's not going to know his way out of a wet paper bag when it comes to technology. But he can write a business plan, right? He can write a marketing plan. He can help you with that. So you don't have to be the single guy or gal who figures out everything. You need to align yourself with other people. Now I want to talk about one other thing. How much more time do I have? Okay, I'll tell you about one other thing. So this is my ID badge. I use this to like get into door in the office. On the back of it, it's got a number of qualities. These are like personality characteristics, things that I'm good at. And my company doesn't ask me to do anything that I'm not good at. There's a reason for that. Once you've reached a certain level of competency in society, it doesn't make sense to focus on the things, it doesn't make sense to focus on remediation. And what I mean by that is, if there's something you really suck at, don't keep trying to be better at that thing that you suck at. Just accept it and focus on the things that you're good at. And the way that you balance that is for the things that you suck at, you find other people who are good at that, and you work with them as a team. Okay? And so you're all focusing on things that you're good at and things that you like. So it's really, really hard as a one individual person to succeed in life without depending on others. But if you find the right fit, you find other people who are good at the things that you are not good at, and you find a way to work well with them, that's a recipe for success. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for your attention.